I'm actually going to put this on the podcast.
Why?
Because I really want to hear your opinion. So, what's the problem with the alien again, baby? I agree, by the way. What's the problem again?
The two things I don't like is the human face part. They don't...
Why do they have a human face?
They can take the mask off. I don't mind that. And
I really wish they didn't, though.
No, I mean, the reason they take mask off because they want to show the teeth. They don't want to show how scary the aliens are and how people are afraid of them. But the thing is, aliens not just about scariness. Aliens about unknown. That's why the human face doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sick and tired of Doctor Who thing, human face.
So many years, aliens in Doctor Who, it's just a human-related face. It's not right because alien has to have alien face.
Yeah.
Cannot just have two eyes, one nose, one mouth, and speak English. I understand you might like because doctor's there, he can speak English, but the thing is. Oh, maybe, I don't know
why can't he speak English?
Why he's speaking English, I don't understand that part. Like, there's no...
He should have been like a predator and spoken like a predator language or whatever.
Maybe he has technology to translate. Yeah. I don't know. The second part is... What is the second part? I said before? Oh, about the hunting. Like, why... So the idea about being hunters, taking the trophy from the thing you hunt. The idea, I think it's too old. Yeah. I just don't... And it's copying from predators.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I understand predators copying from human because human, we do that. Like... I just wish they have another way to show the scariness. Like, hunting, taking trophy from hunter is our human doing what we do. And that's I understand. There's so many sci-fi and so many horror movie done this.
Yeah.
It's just, the idea is good to show the scariness, but it's just so old. I wish they use another way to show how scary they are. They don't have to use a human culture, put on alien, to show how scary they are. To make human feel, oh, that's scary because we do that to animals.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's a human thing. I just wish they get rid of all the human elements about aliens because they are aliens. You don't make me feel that he is alien. You don't make me feel like he's now from another race we've been for millions of years.
Right. I absolutely agree.
Like the way he hunting, I like the way the rules when he hunt. He's like, the game I'm in is no technology, nothing reliable. That's just a so human thing. Like how strong you are in alien culture, which as a human, I understand that. That doesn't work because alien rules shouldn't be based on the human rules.
Yeah.
I just don't. I just feel like this part is just so human. It shouldn't. I don't know. There's so many times, like so many years, Doctor Who been using this kind of thing, like a human behavior put on the aliens part.
Yeah. This is why I want classic Who designs back, where they look like aliens. Like, I don't think if the Daleks weren't invented in the 60s, I don't think they ever would have been invented now. They even tried to make them human. Remember that time? Holy shit, they were human originally.
I wish they had a cool design about aliens.
Yeah, I think the suit was cool. He should have just taken the fucking mask off.
I still think he like that. You know the other Doctor Who where I can't remember the aliens. You know the lesbian one looks like a lizard. What's the name of the alien?
The Silurians.
Yes, and they are so cool, their design. But she took the mask off to become a human.
Yeah. I hate that.
Why do you do that? It's just so wrong.
Yeah, and in the original series, they look like a monster.
Instantly, that alien is too friendly.
Yeah.
Like, maybe aliens can be friendly, but the thing is, we as aliens unknown. Why you still have human eyes?
Yeah.
No matter how good your makeup is, with human eyes, that's human. With the costume.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like
they need prosthesis.
Human with a costume.
Yeah, they need actual prosthesis.
This episode's alien is also make me feel like there's a human standing there.
Yeah.
With a costume on it and with some sounds technology to change it.
Yeah.
Make the voice so dark and scary. I mean, the makeup is cool, but the thing is, change it a little bit. Don't have to 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. It's just so boring. I was so excited to want to say what's under the mask, but the thing is, it's still human face. It's just...
Yeah. And that excitement is why I wish he never took it off. Ambiguity, I think, is great.
Or maybe he can took it off, but doesn't
like Darth
show
Vader.
us.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. The teeth, yeah. The teeth are, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you very much. So let's have a little conversation about this week's episode of Doctor Who, baby.
I don't like this episode.
What was your favourite part again, babe?
I think the ship is the only part I like. The design of the ship, the ship is the only thing I like.
Did you like how they didn't look like aliens?
I don't like aliens. There's nothing about it. This episode is about aliens.
Yeah.
Their planets, apart from 3 suns, it's not, okay, you show me 3 suns, that's not Earth. You can't just say that. You can't just say, oh, this planet is 3 Earths, so therefore it's not Earth. But exactly, rest of this planet look exactly like Earth. It's got water, and it's not water, but it looks like water. It's got desert, and exactly, it got trees, it got rocks, and it's got sky. And everything is the same. There's no oxygen and gravity, exactly the same. It's just there's 3 suns.
Oh, and
so it's not Earth.
The water was dangerous.
But it looks like water.
Okay, so there's a classic Doctor Who story called The Keys of Marinus, and I really, really like that story. It's really good. And it reminded me of The Keys of Marinus. But if The Keys of Marinus wasn't good, that's what this was.
And that stupid tent. What the fuck is that?
The tent
like,
was really
is it? I know it's an Instagram, but the thing is, can't you just design a cool Instagram, not a tent?
Do you mean a hologram?
Not a tent. Yeah?
Do you mean a hologram?
A hologram, yeah. It doesn't have to be. Why it has to be a tent? Like, you use the most human, common, understandable thing. Like, use something different. Use a ship or something. At least it's not. It's against the earthy, like human stuff. It's just so the design. Why is it 10? Why?
Okay, one of the things that really actually infuriated me with this episode was when Graham says, "Why do they look like us? And why do they speak English?" And she was like, "Oh, you can understand them because there's a thing in your neck." Like, really? How? That's so weak.
So the reason they look like us because they also got a saying on us?
No, that's just why we can understand them. I don't know why they look like us. Because they didn't travel in time, they just travel in space.
They shouldn't look like us.
Why do they look like us?
They doesn't even know human being. They must be like human living on other planet. Are they actually humans? They are not, because they wasn't born on Earth. Only the species like we born on Earth. That's why we call ourselves human. Any other creatures live on other planets should not call human.
Yeah, unfortunately, Doctor Who's got a way out with this. So there's a thing called the Rassilon Impromptu, which is why we look like Time Lords. But the thing is in classic Doctor Who, right?
Give some
aliens
creation.
look like aliens.
Just like give some creation, please. Why do you have to use human face? And another really pissed me off is the guy say, "Oh, my mom."
Oh, that scene was so dumb. I fucking hated that scene.
And I fall off, and my mom tries and trust no one. Like, this is the human thing. Why you have to do? It's a human right? thing. Like you make this alien so human. They don't even know stuff. Maybe how do you know their relationship in the family relation is the same as human?
Yeah.
You should have different common sense about family, about mother, and they maybe use a different way to give birth.
Yeah, but
why you have to? And probably the relationship is not like that. Why do you think he hurt by his mother is sad, and why he also feel sad? Why he also feel angry about it? Like it's just exactly like a human. I even have a culture. The background of this person have the same human culture.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
They're just people in space.
And the fabric, I don't get it. It make me feel like, they wake up at night. They're scary. Why? Why is it scary? They can wrap your mouth? When you wake up, you have a knife. The knife can easily cut it off.
Here's something I found really confusing. How is there a nighttime? There's 3 suns.
So there's 3 moons. Did you see the 3 moons? I saw the 3 moons.
Was there 3 moons?
Yes, there was 3 moons.
Here's the thing, baby. Why would all the suns be in the same spot? And how would that work?
Why there's 3 moons? I understand 3 suns. So there have to be 3 moons to be equal? It's just this idea of being alien-ish is just so stupid, so childish. Can't you just give there is 3 suns? How about there's like 7 or 8 moons? How about that? Why you have to be equal?
Yeah, for me the 3 suns having a nighttime doesn't make any sense for me. So in Dragon Ball Z. There's a planet called Namek, which is where Piccolo's people comes from. And they've got 2 suns. Yeah. And as a result, they can't have nighttime. And I like that. No. So there's a sun in the center of their solar system, and there's a sun externally of their solar system.
But for Doctor Who, they just say there's 3 suns, same.
Yeah, in the same location. But how? Stars have extremely dense gravity.
That's really childish. That's why I say it's really childish design.
They can't be next to each other.
It's really childish creation.
It's so pathetic. It's pathetic.
And that fabric, I don't understand that fabric. That fabric is so stupid, the alien. And the stupid thing, the robot, the laser gun, they can run away from laser gun? Are you fucking kidding me? You wiggly, you not run in straight line, they won't shoot you. In real life, laser gun shoot you wherever you go.
But if you move wiggly, baby.
How can you run faster than laser? How?
Considering light is the fastest thing in existence.
How?
Yeah, that's.
If I have a laser pen right now, you run, I still can go to you.
So here's something that confuses.
That's why cat are chasing laser, because laser always faster. That's the common sense. The cat's chasing laser, he never chases it up because laser will always be faster.
Here's a major issue with that as well. Is, the guy who was sad about his mum and shit, boring guy.
Yeah.
Who was there to be white men are evil, is exactly what his character was. With that guy, he got shot by the laser and it didn't even look like he got hurt. He got singed, maybe. He was shot point blank with the fucking laser.
That doesn't make sense. So that make me feel like that probably not a laser gun, but doctor said that's a laser gun.
Did she? I suppose. Yeah, I think she did.
She said it's a laser gun.
But here's the thing. You know the EMP blast? Do you remember when she did the EMP?
What? Wait.
Remember when she did the EMP, the electromagnetic pulse, that turned the robots off?
Yeah. Where did that button from?
It was inside one of the robots, apparently.
How can that button inside a robot?
I have no idea, but my issue with that
It's just randomly
is
nowhere.
the whole reason that button was there was to try and prove a point that you shouldn't use guns. But that was just bad writing. Chris didn't know how to get them out of the situation, so he just invented a way out. That's fucking awful. That's worse than Russell T Davies.
That button is inside of the robot.
Yeah, it's inside one of the dead robots.
So
the robots can turn off the other robots?
Okay.
Why?
Okay. Also, I don't know how she figured it out. I mean, that design of the robot is stupid, by the way.
Yeah.
And
they look like they're from Destiny.
Also, they burned the fabric, and this kind of alien killed the whole human creatures on this planet.
Yeah.
How can fabric free of fire
kill
everyone on Earth, on this planet? It doesn't make sense.
I have no idea.
This alien does not scare me at all.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And this alien, it's just like it's so weak. And what the nice scene, they surrounded by fabric, make me feel like this, like Harry Potter. It's like fantasy show. It's not sci-fi. They in the circle. Yeah. The fabric flying around them.
Yeah.
It made me feel like Harry Potter again.
Yeah, it was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic.
The scene they run away from the laser gun was like, oh my god, this looks like an 80s show. Like, people not aware of how strong laser gun is.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. This story probably made by a kid.
You know what's really bad? It's made by the person who runs the show.
What?
Yeah, the guy who runs the show made this episode.
No.
Yeah, Chris Chibnall wrote it.
I thought he's good.
He has never done a good Doctor Who episode, except for last week's, which I thought was decent.
Yeah.
Last week's was decent.
Was he the person who wrote another TV show?
He wrote the first 2 seasons of Torchwood.
Oh.
The bad seasons?
No. What else he wrote?
He wrote Broadchurch, though.
Oh, yeah. Broadchurch is awesome.
Yeah, Broadchurch is amazing, but this...
It's a crime show. It's different.
Yeah, he can't do good sci-fi.
His imagination is so low.
Yeah, it's really, really limiting.
It's so boring.
He does good human interaction, but even in this episode that was bad, when it was like the mum made me jump off the tree, it was pathetic, actually. But yeah, all right. Thanks, baby.
So sad.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Whoscussion. We are your hosts from Whānau, That Random Guy, and oh, that's right, Harriet Skelly's not here. But we have with us today the wonderful Lake Crow. Lake Crow, tell us a little bit what you do here on YouTube Land.
Hello, YouTube Land. Yes, on my YouTube channel, I post occasionally various short films and bits and pieces as I get around to making them, and I do them with my friends on my journey to be a better filmmaker. And I know I've been talking about it a lot in the last couple of Whoscussions, but definitely there'll be an audio drama dropping in the coming week, starring That Random Guy in 3 different roles. So
hopefully they sound distinct enough. I was really hoping.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too, but that's like my own personal opinion, so I'm glad somebody else has an opinion. They do sound different.
They definitely.
So he's got that. We've also actually, Lake Crow. Oh no, I won't spoil it. Lake Crow will tell us in due course about his project after that, his next audio project, which I am very much excited to reveal one day. Hopefully here on the podcast if next week goes well. So this week we're going to be covering the Ghost Monument.
Has it got a ghost? Because ghosts are dead.
Oh, my soul. And The Day of the Clown for part A. For part B, we're going to be covering Blood Tide. Whoops, I said that wrong. We're going to be covering Beachhead featuring the 8th Doctor. And the cover...
Blood Tide.
Yeah. The 8th Doctor... Man, Big Finish, I know you're doing the covers to try and sell more copies, but you are giving too much away. The front cover has essentially what the story's about on the front of it, and I wish that I didn't get it ruined. Hopefully you didn't get it ruined either there, Lake Crow. And finishing it up.
No, unfortunately I did, because the Google Play app that I use actually shows the cover, the album art.
No, I'm so sorry. And we're going to be finishing it up with Bloodtide, a Sixth Doctor and Evelyn Smythe adventure. Was kind of wondering whether or not Frobisher would be in this, because Frobisher and Smythe would be amazing, as that's who Six was traveling with last time, and quite possibly one of the strongest Doctor Who stories ever. And so with that, we're going to jump into the Ghost Monument. Okay, so the Doctor and Co are in space. A ship comes out of warp and picks them up with a hand, but only two of them for some reason. Does it ever explain why the hand only grabs two of them?
So I think well, I mean, the other guy grabbed the other two, but it's implied that when what's her face picked Bradley Walsh and Brian up, that the other two had already been picked up by that point. So I don't. There's so much stuff glazed over, and then other stuff spent too much time on. Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, so no one cares, basically, is what we're getting at. It's just no one cares. So they're on this. So Graham and Ryan are on one ship, because of course they are. They're trying to push this whole "I don't like you," even though my grandmother, who I respected, loved you and married you, and you were with her for 3 years. Why do I hate you? That makes no sense whatsoever. If he loved his grandmother as much as he quite clearly did, why does he hate Graham, somebody who his grandmother loved immensely? And
they really haven't explained that.
Yeah, like, did Graham punch him or something? Like, did Graham abuse him? I hope that's not where they go, because I'm really worried this season is going to be White Men Are Evil the season. I'm so worried about that. So please don't be that's the reveal. That's why he doesn't like Graham, because Graham beat him up or something. Please.
But Graham's like the best character currently.
Yeah,
why would you do that?
Please don't ruin Graham. Don't ruin Graham. So Graham and Ryan are like, "Hey, stuff," and Ryan's like, "I'm alright, man. I'm alright." And Graham's like, "Well, you I mean, clearly you're not. You just lost your grandmother, so whatever." And they're with what's her name?
Who even cares?
Angstrom. I think her name was Angstrom. Anyway, she's she's barely a character. She says exposition the whole time. That's all she does. Exposition. "Oh, by the way, I'm a lesbian. I'm a cool. All right. Okay. Cool.
Good for you.
Cool. All right. Sweet." And so on the other ship with this guy called Epso, who's also just exposition, is Yasmin and the Doctor. And Jodie looks uncomfortable in this scene. Like, she's like, "What am I meant to be doing here?" And I feel like the director's at fault here, because I've seen Jodie Whittaker in other shows, Black Mirror and Broadchurch, and she is a phenomenal actress, and Doctor Who is not doing her justice. She's too good for the show.
Can I be honest? Let's say, I mean, all the actors who played the Doctor knew who are too good for the show.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It's not been good, and I really feel sad because they're letting Jodie down immensely. But I don't know. It's weird because they're in a practical set, which I'll go again. There's a lot of practical effects in this, which is great. And model shots. There were model shots in this episode. Yes, I'm so happy. But she's like standing there going, "Oh, what's going on?" And Epso was like, "Oh, something or other, this ship's famous." And I'm like, you can't just, like, say the ship's famous.
They've done that a lot in the last year. So they just say things you just expect it to be like, okay.
Yeah, like, "Hey, the ship's famous. That's great. I'm so happy about that." So he's like, "Oh, my ship's famous." And the Doctor's like, "Oh, we're going to die if you don't get rid of the back of the ship." And they got rid of the back of the ship and they don't die. And on social media at the moment, they're like, "This is a really powerful scene." No, it wasn't. Nothing happens. I don't feel like they're in danger because I've seen trailers of what's happening next.
People are saying that? Do people like not have brains?
Yeah, right. It's weird. Like, there's nothing dynamic. We know that they can't die. None of them are in danger. This Epso person we're not invested in because we just met them, so we can't be sad if he dies right at the beginning because
he should have died.
Yeah, he's such a nothing character. It's extremely frustrating. So he's just, and the weird thing is in the beginning he seems to be like just a sort of grizzly old dude, but as the episode expands, he's a piece of shit. I'm like, were they filmed and written by different people? ? So that was really weird. And again, Jodie she kind of looks like a lost dog in the scene. She's like looking around like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, man, the director's letting her down. She's a powerful performance artist. What is happening here? And Yasmin's like, "I'm also here too," because she hasn't done anything in the last episode, to be honest. I think she's a good actress. The lines that she has, she delivers fantastically, but she really doesn't have anything to do in both, essentially, the pilot of this run of Doctor Who and this episode. So Yasmin's like, I'm also here, and the doctor's like, don't worry, Yas, you won't die. So we cut back to Graham and Ryan and Angstrom, or whatever the hell their name is, and they've landed, and they have excellent model shots. They're filmed on location. The color grading is gorgeous again. It's just so visually beautiful.
It is. It's so frustrating. Like this, it's beautiful, but without substance.
Yeah, it's beautiful without substance. So it is really frustrating. But hey, it is what it is. Going back to episode 1, I love the color grading. There are some aspects of episode 1 that were lacking, but I still think it was a very powerful episode. This episode, however, just really isn't. So anyway, Armstrong, Ryan, and Graham are downstairs outside of the ship. Like, bloody hell, it's sunshiny. And Armstrong's like, all right, you guys are my bonuses. I'm like, what does it mean? What does that mean?
Explain properly what bonuses are?
No, it would be a bonus if I got killed while I watched this episode. and while I watch this episode, I look over at my wife and I'm just like, don't worry, I've got life insurance. You're going to have a wonderful life. Bye. And then I disappear and she's like, oh, see, Daz, I'll find the 7 magic Dragon Balls and bring you back to life. So that's essentially what's going on here. They're like, oh, all right, cool, you got my bonuses. And then she's like, hey, I'm just going to say stuff at you. I don't know. She's just exposition. She's not a character. She's there to read a Wikipedia page at you. So she's reading a Wikipedia page at Ryan and Graham. They go walking down this trench. And then a ship falls out of the sky. And my wife yells at the screen, why the fuck are they not running sideways away from the ship? Instead, they're running straight. And I was like, do you remember Prometheus? And she was like, oh my God, didn't they get in trouble for that scene? I was like, yeah, they did. She was like, then why is it in this episode of Doctor Who? I don't know, baby. I don't know.
Yeah, someone went to, what is it, the Prometheus school running away from
this. Oh, let's run in the direction it's gonna land? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you run to where it's gonna land? It's so ridiculous. And it's funny. It's like, my wife just escalated as the story went on. She just got progressively more frustrated. And I was right there with her, to be honest, but she was not having a good time. So the ship comes down. They barely make it out alive. The doctor, Yaz, who's like, I'm also here. And Episode's like, I'm here too. And I'm another Wikipedia article. So they come out. They're Wikipedia articling at each other. Graham's like, I'm old and want sunglasses. I'm like, you all need sunglasses. All of you. There are 3 suns in the sky. Every single one of you needs sunglasses and zinc. You need zinc and sunglasses right now.
I was watching this episode, I was just like, well, that explains why Bradley suddenly appears on the chase with a massive tan.
Yeah, I suppose. So they're like, oh, okay, cool, there's 3 suns, and just you need these glasses. I'm guessing the doctor wouldn't really need them, even though the last incarnation wore them. That was dumb. I hate that. And David Tennant wore them too, so...
Okay, while we're here, she has this really dumb line that I hate immensely as soon as she said it.
The Pythagoras line?
I'm just like, you just got your outfit. You have not been anywhere to gain these sunglasses. How the hell did you get these?
How does she have those sunglasses?
You literally, like, from your perspective, maybe an hour ago got this outfit?
Yeah, about an hour ago. Maybe a couple of hours ago. So I literally don't understand how she... Those glasses are from that op shop.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And also Pythagoras wearing sunnies. Pythagoras dealing with his hangover. Like, shut up. I hate how New Who is... It's just the doctor just saying, I met famous people and did modern things with them. Don't do that. It is meant to be an educational series. If she met Pythagoras, talk about his theorem. Talk about hypotenuse. I don't even like math and I know what that is. Please, be educational, Doctor Who. You're supposed to be cool and helpful and educational, not just some shit. And it's everything I hated about Russell's era. But anyway, fucking Ipso and Angstrom are like, hey, look, there's that tent. And I was like, oh, damn, the gods of Ragnarok? But no, the tent's a hologram. There's some guy in there who's been a dickhead who's like, my name's Art Malik, and I'm a dickhead. But is he really being a dickhead, though? He's kind of just giving them the rules. I'm like, I don't like the rules. And he's like, then why did you sign up for this race? And the doctor's like, hey, I don't like these rules either, Mr. Bucko. I'm like, why, doctor? It's their culture. You can't just turn up and be like, that's not cool. Dude, what? Shut up, doctor. You're not coming across as the greatest person right now. So the doctor's like, hey, stuff and things. And then Ilan, or however you say his name, Ian or Ilan or whatever his name is. I'm going to call him Art Malik.
The Oompa Loompa actor.
Yeah. What? Art Malik's not the Oompa Loompa actor?
From the recent remake, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Isn't he?
No, the Oompa Loompa actor in real life has dwarfism.
Oh, okay. What? Okay, someone told me it was. And
no, that someone is very wrong. The actor who played the Oompa Loompa in the recent remake, in fact, was in Big Fish. and has quite clearly dwarfism in real life. Big Fish is a good film, by the way, guys. So
I do need to see that and the musical.
yeah, so Art, I'm gonna call him Art Millick from here on out, who has done Big Finish work, by the way. So Art Millick is like, I'm Art Millick, and then the Doctor's like, well, Art Millick, tell us about the race stuff. And he's like, well, the Ghost Monument is the TARDIS for some reason. And I was like, why? What? The TARDIS traveled in space, right? Just space.
Yeah.
So how have they built a culture around it? Also, another big problem. Angstrom and Ipso are meant to be aliens. So is Art Malick's character. Art Malick's character is supposed to be an alien. And my wife said, why do they look like people? And I was like, she's like, New Who keeps doing this. It's really frustrating. Why don't aliens look like aliens? She was like, I can imagine in the future because humans have moved out, but this is meant to be now, right? They're just aliens. And I was like, yeah. She's like, then why do they look like people? Why do they act like people? Why do they say things like people? Why does he have a cigar? Cigars, surely we were the only ones who invented them. Why do they have them? And then she threw her phone. She just threw her phone across the room. And I was like, fair call, babe, fair call. She was like, I'm just so done. This is retarded. And I was like, I absolutely agree. So they were like, oh, let's go. You have to go across this deadly water. Is it deadly though? The Doctor scans it and tells us it's deadly, but there's nothing like, there's no stakes. This whole episode is just them walking and nothing happens.
And so here's something my flatmate suggested, something that could have quite, one, tied into developing Ryan's character, because none of them are characters yet.
No.
And also shown us it's dangerous, because Ryan's supposed to have dyspraxia, right?
Yeah.
Supposed to. He should find walking a mish.
Yeah.
So what if we had him trip over and practically end up in the water, and then there's your danger. Boom. He can explain the water's dangerous. Sorted.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan, no, there's danger here. But instead they walk into this alien spaceship, and my wife's just like, that just looks like a Vietnamese barge. And I was like, I think it is a Vietnamese barge. And she's like, that's great. This episode, I'm so engaged. So they go inside, and they're like, oh, hey, it's not a normal engine. And I don't know why I would have thought me from contemporary Earth would know anything about contemporary alien technology, because I'm from contemporary Earth and didn't know aliens existed until like 0.2 days ago. So, question mark? And then Ryan goes, it's solar powered. I'm Ryan. And Yaz goes, I'm also here too, guys. Can I have a character, please? Like, no, Yaz, you wait your turn. All right? You wait your turn, Yaz. All right? I had enough of your lip. Even though in the first ever episode of Doctor Who, they established the entire TARDIS crew in one episode that was only 22 minutes long. In a 22-minute long episode, they managed to set up Ian, Barbara, Susan, and the Doctor in the first ever episode of Doctor Who. So if you're telling me that in a collective almost 3 hours, right? Mm-hmm. They have not, almost 2 hours, sorry. They have not set up all of these characters yet. How? 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 It's so frustrating. It's longer than the Tribe of Gum. So it's really confusing. I don't understand. So with that, we go into they're on the barge, and they're going off, and then they give their backstories. And Ipso's like, my mum got me to climb a tree and then jump off and didn't catch me. And my wife goes, why are they acting like humans? Right? I was like, I don't know. She was like, why are they acting like humans? They're aliens from the other side of the universe. Why are they acting like people? Why does he have a cigar? I was like, I don't know, babe. And then Angstrom's like, I'm reading my Wikipedia article. And I'm like, that's not a character, man. A character doesn't just read their Wikipedia article. They have actions. They have things that on screen show us. Don't tell me about your past. Show me. Have a flashback scene where she talks over the top.
Writing
it's film,
101.
But not really. It's more film screenplay writing 101.
Screenplay, yeah.
For screenplays, it's extremely important to fucking show what your characters have done in their life. Show, don't tell. It's so important. It's how you keep people engaged, but instead they're having flashbacks to her losing people. We could have her talking over the top, and you could have like freeze frames of her crying, holding her loved ones, or being separated. Something that gets us emotionally invested, but instead, both of these people are just Wikipedia articles. That is uninteresting. Mm-hmm. So they get to the other side of the water, and the Doctor hops off the barge and goes, this reminds me of Marinus. Guys, remember Keith and Marinus? Oh wait, you were my companions. No, I had fully fleshed out characters when I was on Kids and Marinus. This kind of reminds me of that. And then I was like, but she didn't actually say that. I made that scene up, but it would have been cool if she said it reminded of Marinus, because it's quite clearly the Diet Coke version of Marinus, which is why the Vrood invented invented their costumes so they could survive in the harsh waters of Marinus. But anyway, they go over to the other side, and then they're like, hey, where is the civilization? They left behind this really cool broken house. And they're like, oh yeah, they did, didn't they? And then these robots appeared, and they were like, we're robots. And my wife goes like, no, they look stupid. They just look like people again. And I was like, it's because they are. She was like, that's great. That's fantastic. And so they start shooting, and they're shooting at the doctor. The doctor says, "Oh, weave," which is the thing they should have done earlier in the episode, by the way. But she's like, "Oh, weave, they can't hit you," and I was like, "No, don't give them stormtrooper logic. Don't give them stormtrooper logic." So they're weaving and they can't get hit, and I was like, "But these are meant to be weapons, right? These were meant to be sold as soldiers in the military."
Yeah, I'd want my money back if it's like this.
Oh, hey, it can't hit moving targets. That thing that actual living beings can do. People forget this, and it's really frustrating. It's quite irksome. Is that we can hit moving targets?
Yeah,
that's really frustrating. But anyway, so the doctor's like, "Oh no, hey!" So they hide in this hole, and then Epso gets shot. Hold on, Epso gets shot, and all it is just like a little bit of a burn. I was like, "Aren't these meant to be weapons that you instantly remove any danger?" He isn't even hurt. He's like, "Oh, ow, I got a little burn. Oh, I wish my mum had let me drop off a tree with kiss it better." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" And Armstrong's like, "I'm here too, guys. Do you want to hear more about my Wikipedia article?" "No, Armstrong, I don't care about your Wikipedia article." So the doctor and Ryan, Graham, and Yasmin, who's like, "I'm here too, guys. Remember me? I really hope I get a character next episode." So she's like, "Hey guys, hey." And then Ryan's like, "We need to fight back." And I was like, "Don't fight back. That's bad. Guns are bad." And I'm like, "Man, shut up. You guys are in a situation where he's trying to think of it away, and he's human. Of course the human's going to grab the gun to try and fight the things that are shooting him with the gun. He's a human being. Shut up, the doctor. Shut up, you idiot." So Ryan runs out and is like, boom, 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 boom. And it's weird because he shouldn't be accurate.
Dyspraxia, did they just forget he has that?
Yeah, I don't know why they even gave it to him. It was just so they could have the sad episode with the wheels thing, the bicycle. I'm losing my trail of thought. So he runs out and it does nothing and then come back. And I was like, then why do they have these guns? They're supposed to be creating soldiers. Why do they have these guns that can't hurt things? He's like, "Oh no, the gun doesn't work." So he runs back in. The doctor goes, "I told you that. You're a dum-dum for doing that." I'm like, "Why? He's a human and reacted like a human being. He is in trouble. There is weaponry around him. He wants to fight back."
Yeah. And in fairness to him, he actually hit his targets. So
yeah, he hit his targets, even though he really shouldn't have been able to. So
he shouldn't have been able to. But
he comes back in and he's like, "Oh man, this didn't work." And the doctor's like, "That's really silly." So the doctor creates an EMP thing. It's so dumb. She was like, "Oh, you looked at the wrong place." And the EMP blast, and it came from inside one of the robots. And my wife goes, "Why would they build that into their robots?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Clearly they're a military force." And I was like, "Yeah. Why would you build into your military force that thing that can turn off your whole force? What if it got hit in a firefight? Then your whole force is down and you lose immediately."
Yep.
And I was like, "Wow, yeah, I hadn't thought of that." She was like, "This episode's dumb. I'm gonna go see my friend." And I was like, "No, please, I need you to stay with me on this." And she's like, "Oh, okay, fine." So the doctor goes downstairs and sees Epso. He's like, "Yeah, I literally, all that happened is I got a graze." She's like, "But you got shot by a laser." He's like, "Yeah, I know. But that's not actually what happened. In fact, my wife was furious. She was like, he got shot by a laser. Why isn't there significantly more damage than there is?" I was like, "Shh. It's fine. Let's just let it be. All right. All these words of wisdom. Let it be." So she goes, "Oh man, let's go have a look around." So they look around. They find this markings on the floor, and Jodie gives some of the worst acting I've seen in British television history. And that's down to the script she's been given, because the dialogue she gives is Wikipedia again. It's Wikipedia again, and the direction is just horrible. It's the worst. It's like Jodie doesn't want to be there, and I'm like, "Fair call, man. You're too cool of an actress for the show." So she's like, "Oh man, oh no," and then she ends it with, "They are coming. Don't Lord of the Rings me, man. Don't Lord of the Rings me. Don't do that. They are coming." And I was like, "Oh, shut up." So anyway, Epso's like, "Oh, I'm real tired. I'm gonna let sleep." So he let sleeps, and then pieces of rags, they go wrap around him, and I'm like, "Cool, all right, tension's finally gonna be in it." But then the doctor cuts him out,
and there's all tension.
All tension's gone again.
He should have died.
Just kill him. Just kill him. Like, have some sort of tension. There is no tension. Nothing drives this plot. Nothing drives it. There is no plot. They're walking from point A to point B and nothing happens. In Keys of Marinus, they're going from point A to point B a lot. They have this hub world. It's basically a modern video game, but it came out in the 60s during season 1 of Doctor Who. Was it season 2? No, it was season 1 because Susan was still
season 1.
Oh, it was after Marco Polo, right? Yeah, I think it was. Actually, it was after Marco Polo. So anyway, they have a hub world that they go to, and they go these different places, and they've all got different cultures, and they all come back, and it's super engaging and interesting because there's different things they need to do. And like the slugs that are psychic that control that community, like, there's just so many entertaining aspects of this, and all they're trying to do is basically finish a puzzle, the Key of Marinus. And this story was just them trying to finish The Amazing Race, the boring edition. It's more boring than the actual Amazing Race. How did you achieve that? How did you achieve that? You're in space doing Space Amazing Race. Why does this episode exist? So they cut away the ribbons and they're running away. They're, oh, this is frightening. I was like, no, it's not. You just showed you can cut them. I'm not afraid for you at all. Their knife that they had basically looked like a have you ever been to like a hotel and they give you like foolproof cutlery?
I have not been to a hotel, so no.
Oh, right. Okay, so there's some hotels that give you foolproof cutlery at the breakfast menu. Yeah. And that knife looked like my first butter knife. Like, you know, like my first butter knife brought to you by Hasbro. And so if Hasbro's plastic toy butter knife can kill the rag monsters, why am I afraid? Even if I was a kid, I'd be like, this is dumb. I actually saw a post on one of the pages I follow. It was like, my kid fell asleep twice during this. Like, yeah, because it's boring. It's so boring. And and people complain about 60s Who being slow. Bro, Keys and Marinus destroys this episode. So they're like, oh, okay, cool. We bred butter knife. They're running away. And the doctor goes, gas. And I was like, oh, no, really? There's gas. And then these rags appear and they start like talking. And like, if Big Finish weren't good at writing villain voices, like imagine if Big Finish weren't competent as storytellers, but they still had the like evil voice guy. Because this reminds me of evil Big Finish voice guy. I actually wonder if Ian Gelder is evil Big Finish voice guy. Let's have a quick goggle. Ian Gelder. He was in Children of Earth, and he is in Big Finish. He is in Big Finish. Of course he is. So he's like, hey, I'm if Big Finish couldn't write. And Jodie's like, oh no, I got these wrappings around my arms, even though we established earlier these are really easy to break. And I'm like, hey, we're possibly the thing that wiped out the people who used to live here. How? Two pieces of cloth that can get cut by Hasbro's My First Butter Knife. How did you wipe out a race of people?
Oh no.
No! So they somehow wiped out this race of people, and then they go, we can see your fear. And I was like, how? Time Lords are extremely psychic. The doctor has a piece of paper that uses psychic suggestion, and the piece of paper amplifies the suggestion. The doctor's mega psychic. The doctor comes from a race of beings that can update each other using their minds in a way cooler version of Facebook. It's called Contact, which is actually a great name for a social media service. So, if they're this powerfully psychic, how is the doctor the only one whose mind gets broken into? And they're like, we know about the timeless child. No. Don't handle your story arc prophecies this way, please. Please don't handle your story arc prophecies this way. This is dumb. This is bad. This is like when Image Comics first started, right? If anybody's read Youngblood, original Image Comics, this is that bad, if not worse. Like, hey, we're doing the setup really badly, even though Chris Chibnall said there's not going to be an arc. Then why set an arc up, Chris? Why set an arc up if there's not going to be one? You toadstool. So, like, oh, the Timeless Child. If the Timeless Child doesn't turn out to be Susan, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a single squirt of poo about this. I honestly don't care. And he's like, I read the Wikipedia, Timeless Child. Read about it on TARDIS Wiki after this episode is Jodie. He's like, I'm the doctor. No, you're Jodie. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she goes, guys, Graham, light that cigarette. And Graham's like, okay, cool. So they chuck the cigar in the air. The doctor manages to fall down even though she was wrapped up. What?
Yeah, she was. What?
How does she manage to fall down? So she falls down, and then the pieces of rag paper are like, oh, we're dead now! Even though we're supposedly a weapon that wiped out an entire species. And my wife goes, if those things wiped out all life on this planet, how did she just defeat them like that? I was like, we're just going to have to roll with the punches at this point, babe. So the doctor's like, oh man, let's go now. Let's go. And Episode's like, I'm an evil person. I'm really bad. I'm like, no, please don't. Please don't, Doctor Who. I'm so afraid you're going to just be like, white men are evil. Please don't, Doctor Who. Don't do that, please. And Episode's like, I'm such a bad piece of shit. And Armstrong's like, please, I want my family back. And Episode's like, I don't care. I'm bad. And then the doctor goes, hey, why don't you both just hold hands? And they walk in holding hands into the final tent. I'm like, what? What? How did the doctor just make them friends? How? Did the doctor use contact? If so, why did the doctor use contact and not get the timeless child? This is a bad prophecy. Really wish Big Finish owned New Who. So they turn up and they're like, hey, Ark Malik. And Ark Malik's like, hey, there can't be two winners. Well, there is. Oh, well, I'll just say that that's not okay. And then the doctor goes, nah, you should give them both prizes just because. And then Episode goes, I'm going to threaten your life. And the doctor's like, hey, you know how earlier I said I hate guns. I'm totally okay with Epso threatening to murder someone so that he can win a race.
Yep.
Malik goes, that's okay. Bye, doctor. I'm going to leave you here for no adequately explored reason. And then the doctor's like, oh, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. You're all going to die now. And because nighttime will come and we'll die. And then Graham goes, hey, how can there be nighttime when there's literally 3 fucking suns? But that's not actually what happened. That's not what happened. If Dragon Ball Z, a show about people who get stronger and then punch each other, can handle multiple suns on a planet not causing a nighttime, surely Doctor Who, a show that's about using a brain, would be able to use their brain and be like, hey, this planet has 3 suns. Shouldn't they be in different points of their solar system and not right next to each other? Because stars have massive amounts of gravity and probably just collapse in on each other if they're as close as they appear to be in the sky. And I was like, that's really dumb. They should be at different points in the solar system. A thing, again, Dragon Ball Z, a show about people screaming and punching each other, handled way better than a show about people using their brain to overcome adversity. So the doctor's like, oh, I'm so sad, guys. We're going to die when nighttime comes. Even though we established earlier that I can do sex machina anything using a cigar and my first Hasbro butter knife. And Graham's like, well, it's been fun, kids. And then the TARDIS starts going, remember when I was in this show, guys? And the doctor's like, oh, I haven't given up hope now. Why would the doctor give up hope? Okay, let's go to, I think it was the last week or the week before, Stolen Earth, or the week before, Stolen Earth. The 10th Doctor doesn't give up all hope until he exhausts every possible facet of his knowledge.
Yep.
And then he stands there and he's like, I can't move any further because my knowledge is exhausted. Now, if we're trying, which is a good thing for us to be doing as a culture, I mean, like, women can do everything as well, right? Which is a cool point of view to have, and I respect that. But you've just shown that she gives up easily. What? Even the naive doctor didn't give up easily. Five was, let's be honest, Five was pretty much the little nice Christian boy doctor. And even he wouldn't have given up easily. So I'm like, don't do this. Don't disempower Jodie. If we're trying to make her just as strong as every doctor that came before her, don't make her weak. And she just sits there and she's like, oh, I've given up all hope. Everything sucks. I'm like, nah, man. The doctor wouldn't do that. And I doubt Jodie as an actress would want her doctor to do that, but she's got no say in the matter. You know, Jodie is quite a prolific feminist. Surely she's thinking to herself, I think that's why she just throws in the towel. She's like, I don't think people get it.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I'm like, fair call, Jodie. I wouldn't bring 110% to work if people were writing me dumb scripts. I'll throw in the towel too. I'll be like, sweet, I'm just going to be on easy cruise mode until I get paid. I'm like, you know what? I can respect that, Jodie, because you can see how worthless these scripts are.
Yep.
So the TARDIS is like, I'm here too, guys. I'm sent to save you. And the doctor's like, thank you so much. And the TARDIS is like, hey, remember how I have that protocol that they talked about heaps during the 10th Doctor's era, where it's like I'm meant to be saving my pilot? I'm gonna do that. And I was like, okay, cool. Hey, last time I was in here, I blew up. And then the scene where she's like being intimate with the TARDIS's exterior, it's just lame. This is boring. I looked at it and I was like, man, does she even care anymore as a performance artist? So she walks inside and she's like, hey, do you guys like the original Superman movie trilogy? Well, there was actually 4 of them. Shh. No one cares about 4. Welcome to the Fortress of Solitude. And they're walking like, oh, wow, the Fortress of Solitude. So, yay. And the doctor's like, cool, well, that's that. And then the TARDIS gives her a biscuit. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up, please. And then the episode was over. So that was the Ghost Monument. Oh, and I hate that. I really don't like the TARDIS design. That spinning like crystal sculpture of the exterior. Why? The exterior is a facade. It's a facade. It's not real. There's not really a police box there. Why is there a crystalline sculpture of the facade? That's so dumb. I hate it. I hate it. So anyway, that was it. That was the Ghost Monument. What a monumental waste of time. I wish by the end of this, I died and became a ghost so I could haunt Chris Chibnall. I'd haunt the shit out of him. I'd be like, don't give Jodie Whittaker, one of the best actresses on television, a shit script, please. And he'd be like, oh, sorry. I'm going to haunt you until you can prove you can write better than this. Like, oh, that's not cool. I've got like, you know, my well-being to think of. And I was like, well, you should have thought of that before you killed me with the episode, you idiot.
Yeah.
So that was the Ghost Monument. What are your thoughts, The Late Crow?
Don't watch it. Please don't. It's beautiful looking garbage. That's what the story is.
Because it is gorgeous. The model shot of that ship is fantastic. My wife was just like, yes, model shot ship. I'm really happy. I was like, right?
All right. Let's start breaking down the big issues. Okay, at the start. So Yaz wakes up in that chamber thing, and she comes all out, fair call, do you want to know what's going on? And the doctor's all like, oh, go back in the thing. If she went back in the thing, they wouldn't be able to jettison the back of the ship.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, why would you tell her to go back there if that was an option you would plan up? What? Okay. So that was dumb. Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure Wikipedia character number 2 said something about just the last section of the ship, but yet when they do it, it looks like a good 2/3 of the ship.
Yeah, I'd say 3/4 of the ship.
So that's not the last section.
No,
really.
No, it isn't.
So that was bad. Okay. So we've already covered the sunglasses issue. That pissed me right off.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of the sunglasses being in Doctor Who as much as they are, especially when they put them on one in the episode that never aired because it's not fucking canon. That episode.
What episode?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got this sort of fuzzy sort of.
Yeah, there's like a perception filter around that memory for me.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And what's the other? Okay. Yep. So the scene with the gas. So we're called acetylene. One. That's an Earth gas. Why is it in space?
For starters? I mean, there are Earth gases in space.
True. But okay. So we'll accept it's there. Well, yep, correct. It's flammable. It's lighter than air. It's also really, really toxic to breathe it in. So, Soz, you're all dead now.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so well done. I mean, maybe the Doctor can kind of last a bit longer because high functioning being, but the humans are all dead, all of them. Well done. And then I don't think I have much else to say because I stopped. I didn't really care too much. Invested those. The plot moved around the characters. The characters did nothing to progress anything.
There wasn't a plot, though. It was just Amazing Race. Hey, can we get from this point in the planet to the other point in the planet? I'm just like, what? It's so boring. Nothing happens.
It's like the episode just wanted to get to the TARDIS straight. It's like, well, if that's what you want to do, why did you have to lose the TARDIS in the first place? Just have it. Just that's clearly all the story wanted to get to, and it showed.
Yeah, it was anime filler.
Yeah,
I was like, this is anime filler.
12 episodes in the season.
Dude, they've only got 8 this year.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. So.
Okay, correction. When you've only got 8 episodes, you filler. No.
Yeah, filler ain't a good idea, kids. Filler ain't a good idea. Remember when Torchwood Season 3 had 5 episodes and all of it was plot progression? So, yeah. To be fair, though, that was one story. So,
it was.
I really shouldn't hold that much disregard for this, but this is filler. Nothing happens. The characters aren't interesting. They didn't even go to the way to film the flashbacks. Like, that scene in that episode describes, even though it's really dumb because, like, it's too human. And it's my wife's issue with this season is, like, it just feels like the aliens are just people. They're just people. It's like, yeah, but they shouldn't be. Like, if you look at Classic Who, right? In Classic Who, they tried to make them not just look like people with face paint on. They gave them, like, different skin, different things. The pteroleptals are a great example. The coloured mutants that we call the Daleks are a great example. The original Silurians.
Hell yes.
Where even the females were like, hey, we're flat chested because we're reptiles. Sorry, that still annoys me. They looked alien. They had a alien culture to ours. But this season, and New Who a lot, but this season, they've just been people. One of them was just a person with face paint on. That Hunter Trophy thing is something we do.
Yep.
I'm just like, what? So dumb. But anything else to say before we just move on with our lives?
And I'm sure there's other stuff that annoy me, but I just want to move past the story.
I just want to get past the story. Guys, just skip it. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say it here on Whoscussion, I've said it before in the past. If next week's episode, which they've already proven isn't a pure historical, which frustrates me to no end, because America's 1950s cultural etiquette is already the villain.
Yep.
Right? Just have her black companions be in a lot of trouble, and her to be in trouble as well, because she's a woman in the 50s. She might be a time lady, but we look like them. To 1950s American etiquette, she would still be second-class citizen. It would be difficult for her. There's a villain. Pure historicals can work, man. I love the Romans. In the Romans, Ian and Barbara are found out to be Londonites, right?
Yep.
And as a result, are sold into slavery. Because our history doesn't need aliens for it to be bad. Our history was bad because it was bad. We hadn't learned shit yet as a species. So infuriating. Anyway, if next week is literally a white racist travels back in time to stop black people from getting rights, I'm done with the show. I will never watch Doctor Who again. Well, New Who, that is. Classic Who forever represent. But
yep.
New Who's done. New Who is dead to me. If we go ahead and it's just like, oh, this is... My wife said it really, really good to me the other day. She said, why would we be racist in the future? And I was like, yeah. She was just like, because we would know from history books that racism is evil. Mm-hmm. So I really hope, for both my wife and I's sake, and for me continuing to be, well, I've never really been a New Who fan, but being a fan in general of Doctor Who, please don't make it a white guy goes back in time to stop black people from getting rights. Please don't do that. Please. So with that, we're going to move on to the Day of the Clown, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed. So, the Day of the Clown. Oh, hey, crazy. Before we go on, Sarah Jane Smith has a Afro-English companion and an Indian companion in the season. So she did New Who Jodie Whittaker's run before New Who Jodie Whittaker's run. So so Day of the Clown, take us away.
Alrighty, so we're in with Sarah Jane, and we know that, and we've got Luke, and he's reading an email from Maria. She's like, "Yeah, I thought
it was cool. The actress did the voiceover for that.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, good on you for doing your studies, but good on you for providing continuity. Good job. So that was good. And Luke's all sad because he lost his friend, and that's fair play. I mean, he hasn't really had time to learn.
You pull up a decorative vegetable.
He hasn't really learnt much in the way of kind of dealing with these sort of things. This is his first time losing a friend. Fair play. He's sad. And Clyde's trying to cheer him up, joking about. And that's all very well and good. We've had the new people moving in across the road, and everyone's a bit like, oh, better keep our sort of alien life secret. Yeah, fair call. So they go to school, and the school's got a new head, and Clyde, being the class clown, kind of gets hauled up on it a bit. And he's none too happy about that because I think he gets away with being the class clown a bit, so he's not happy with authority. Alrighty, so that's going on. And meanwhile, we meet the newest companion for the series. We meet Rani. And, she seems cool. And
her name's Rani.
Yeah. Just, Sarah Jane, just throwing a character called Rani there. They knew, just like, let's just chuck that in there. They knew. Anyway, so they hit it off pretty well. I think Clyde not so much initially, but definitely hitting off well with Luke. They're happy chappies. And meanwhile, Sarah Jane's just checking across the road, making sure that Maria hasn't accidentally left anything over there. Fair play. We've seen from last season that she has actually all of them have a bit of a habit of just kind of picking things up and causing trouble. Well, not causing trouble intentionally, but leaving things about, and that causes trouble. So, so she meets Rani's mum, and
I love Geeta. Geeta is a gem.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we didn't go back to like bad parents again. It's good.
I mean, her
dad's a bit of a knob, but he's a good parent to her though, because when he's outside of work, he's good to her. It's just at work he's a bit too stringent.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's all good. And now people have been seeing clowns about the place, and we also learned that kids have been disappearing, so that's not good. And so the head, this new head, what's the father's name?
Harish.
Harish, thank you.
Harish.
And he's just like, and he's a bit strict, but fair play to him. Just like, kids are disappearing, you're in charge of a whole bunch of kids. Yeah, I can understand being a bit strict. Gotta.
Yeah, but the message he's trying to deliver to the children when he first introduces himself should not have been fronted with him being aggressive, because they're going to tune out. If you aggressively approach somebody, they will tune out. They'll disconnect with you. And if you're trying to tell them, hey, people are going missing, you need to tell people about it, they're not listening. They've already tuned out. I didn't hear what you just said. So it's weird considering he's supposed to be like a professional. I had principals of my schools, and then you had to talk to teenagers. Like, I got on really well with my high school principal a lot. He actually saved my ass quite a bit. I was a bit ruckus, but he understood that teenagers are how to talk to them and communicate with them. Wonderful human being.
I'm jealous. My principal was a bit of a knob at high school.
Yeah, and that's bad, because if you do that, especially for teens, you aggressively approach them on a subject matter, they'll disconnect. They are instantly uninterested. Well done. You achieved nothing. You taught them no life lessons because they didn't feel gratified at the end. If you want to if you want to impart a life lesson on somebody, get them engaged in what you want to say. That's why famous philosophers were just dudes standing in an auditorium going, yo, this is cool, this is stuff. Not going, you're a dick for believing this. Which is why a lot of like modern movements now, they need to relearn that. A lot of modern movements are real aggressive. Both the left and the right are aggressive. And I'm just like, if you want somebody to listen to your message, don't be aggressive. Because nobody wants to listen when you're aggressive. That's dumb.
Nope. Dear. But because Clyde is quite clearly tuned out for the exact reason just stated, he's joking about, and he's like, right, Hadish is like, right, you're going to be sitting outside my office? That sucks. Okay, then, fair play. So he's sitting outside the principal's office, as you do when you're naughty, and he kind of has a bit of a conflab with one of his fellow school peoples, and he's like, I'm going to go in the art cupboard. Fair play. And then he goes in, and there's a noise, and Clyde's a bit like, okay, you're right in there, mate. And he goes in, and he's not there. He's like, oh, that's not good. So he tries to find him, and he bumps into a clown. Well, doesn't bump. He comes across a clown, tries to confront it, but unfortunately, that only lands him in a bit more trouble with the principal. And this kind of comes back to what you were saying, because just earlier the principals were like, tell us if you see something bad, and Clyde's like, I've seen something bad, and immediately doesn't get believed or doesn't get looked into.
Exactly. I am not acting in the way I advised you I'd be acting. So even further, that creates distrust.
Yeah.
If you create distrust, man, you never ever will repair that bridge. It is irreparable, and that's all your fault.
Yep.
Do not break a social bridge, because that ain't getting cleaned up, man. No matter how much of a reform you have, no matter how much you apologize, first impressions are the most important impressions. They will stick around forever, like a bad smell, and you can't find the source. Sorry,
exactly.
Continue.
You're 100% correct. So, understandably, Clyde's all like, okay, now for this, you're not listening to me, even though you said you would, right? I'm going to go talk to somebody who will listen to me. So he's walking off with Luke, and he's like, right, I've seen this thing, and Luke's all like, not that I don't believe you, but you sure it's a clown. And they see a clown, and, well, Clyde sees a clown. He's like, right, let's chase the clown. So they chase the clown, and they bump into Ronnie again, because Ronnie's also seen the clown. And they wind up back at their houses, and Clyde and Luke are like, right, okay, you just go home. Like, Ronnie's like, nah, I'm seeing clowns too. I want to be in on this. And it's just, all right then. And Sarah Jane comes out. And like, what? Can we bring her in? And Sarah Jane's like, we already discussed this. And just at that moment, Harriet pulls up, and Clyde's like, damn it. I'm kind of into this girl, and now,
Yeah, and he's like, please tell me that the reason he's here doesn't have anything to do with the word dad.
And that's 100% what it is.
Yeah.
I did actually enjoy that moment.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Clyde was like, no, I really do like her. No.
And Geeta comes out, and Geeta's just amazing.
Yeah, she's such a gem. Oh, I'd love to hang out. She's the sort of person I don't like going to cafes, but if she asked me to, I'd go.
Yep. Would you go to a cafe if I asked you?
Not really, sorry. I really don't enjoy going to them.
No,
I still love you though.
Anyway, I digress. Okay, so we eventually wind up in getting into Sarah Jane's house to try and work out what's going on with these clowns, and so they have a ticket that they were given, because Clyde remembers, oh yeah, I've seen this clown thing before. So
because I've got a golden ticket, I've got a golden twinkle in my eye, and these children have gone missing. I wonder why.
Yep. So Mr. Smith scans it, and he's like, okay, I can't really give you much details on this, but they do some research into the Pied Piper and the legend of all that jazz, and they're like, oh, there's a meteorite thing that crashed down about that time, and Ronnie's all like, oh, so he must have transported that, and Mr. Smith's like, no, you're 100% wrong there, child. It's 30 centimeters wide meteorite, no. And so it's like, by the way, this thing is at the Faust Institute, just to throw back to last season. It's like, okay, I'll go grab you a bit. So Sarah Jane goes off to grab a bit. And
I also think it's cool because like Tom Baker was her last prominent doctor, and like Faros is where he died. So it's like it's pretty cool. I think it's a great interconnection. Yeah, I think it's quite nice.
Yep. But yeah. But before they get the rock, because I've missed a bit, they wander down to where the ticket was originally received from, Mr. Spellman's Magical Museum at the Circus, and they meet Elijah Spellman, and Spellman's great. He's
fantastic.
So good. Just proving that Bradley Walsh can act, something that the current season is actually not really showing very well.
Yeah. But again, he's the strongest character this season.
He is. He actually is, but it's sad when that is anyway, we've put it past us. Moving on. This episode's great. Let's not ruin it. So Spellman runs the place, but he's also the clown, Odd Bob, which was also the Pied Piper. So he seems to be some sort of, was it a psychic? Not psychic. What's the word I'm looking for?
I suppose you're right. It's a psychic entity. I don't think you're wrong at all, actually. I think that's the best way to describe him as a psychic entity.
And he's basically he's preying on the fear of children, because clowns is a pretty legitimate fear. Fair play. And,
fair play though. Fair play. Not many men can pull off a decorative vegetable.
So, if you had $1 for every time I'm saying fair play in this discussion, you could get yourself a good large venti mocha or something. But so it turns out Sarah Jane's also pretty not okay with clowns, and and they're also trapped in this building, so that's not good. And so that's where part 1 ends. So we pick back up, and they manage to get out because, as was established a little bit earlier, because there's a energy psychic entity and seemingly works on the same frequency as cell phones. Okay.
Question mark?
Yeah, question mark on that, but okay, we'll let you off because you don't harp on it too much, I guess. So, all right. But manages to momentarily disable Spellman's ability because he sent a bunch of clone sort of mannequins after them, but they stop, so they manage to get out of there all hunky-dory. That's when they have a conflab about the Pied Piper and stuff and go to the museum, go to the Ferris Institute, grab a bit of rock. Mr. Smith scans it. He's like, yep, this is definitely a psychic entity. And the surgeon's like, well, that's just great. That's what I wanted to hear. Cool.
Thanks, Mr. Smith.
Psychic entities are one of the least easy to vanquish. Thanks.
Yeah, remember those psychic spiders that mind controlled her and then killed John Pertwee?
Oh, yeah, just having all the flashbacks of Sarah Jane here.
Sarah Jane,
like, Mr. Smith's just like psychic. She's just like, whoa. Sorry, just blanked out of there, Mr. Smith. Just remembering all the psychic troubles I've had in my adventures. But yeah, so that's going on. Pied Piper, meteorite, fun times. Meanwhile, the kids have gone back to school because they kind of have to, being school kids. Bit of a pain in the butt, I suppose, when you're trying to fight aliens, but you got to do what you got to do. Education's important, kids. Stand still. But unfortunately, at this school, a whole bunch of red balloons are flying down, as was shown to be a sort of a hallmark of Odd Bob.
Now, would you say 99 Duff Luftballon? I'll see myself out.
Composure. All right, so that's not good. And all these... Now, we'd also been told that we're not to touch the balloons, but all these kids touch the balloons because, to be honest, if a balloon fell out of the sky in front of me, I would grab it. I'd be one of those people. So, and they all get mind controlled. Oh dear! And like the Pied Piper let out the children in the fairy tale, he does that with the kids, and all the kids start marching out. And Harish and a few of the other teachers are just kind of having a bit of a wig out, just like, where are all the kids? They're supposed to be in class right now. And Rani, Luke, and Clyde are also trying to kind of coax them out of it, and that's not going very well at all. But they're all led to Spellman's place, and Sarah Jane pulls up as well because she's got wind of this. And so what Mr. Smith does is he calls all of the children's cell phones, hacking into the school records, and that breaks Spellman's grip on them. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm going to kidnap Luke now, Sarah." And Sarah's like, "No, don't do that. Oh, you've done that." Okay.
No, I like I like how he says it. He goes, "Oh, Sarah Jane, I'm going to show you true fear," and then takes Luke. Yeah. I was like, man, what a badass. It's like, bro, I'm scarier than pieces of rag paper killing people and then getting defeated by bread knives.
Bradley as Spellman is actually amazing. Yeah. It's so good. And so Sarah runs in to try and save Luke. Clyde and Rani go to follow after her, and Sarah ends up in a hall of mirrors. And I love the sequence. So the story's great, but I love the mirror sequence. It's just, anytime people do good things with reflections, like, good on you, good job.
What does that remind me of? It reminds me of a classic era story, and I go, Castrovalvo. That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that scene reminds me of.
Yes, so good. But using, I wish it was, I just don't like anything Sonic used, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I really wish the Sonic lipstick wasn't a thing.
But unfortunately, Sonic lipstick is the thing, and although that being said, Sonic vibrations would be able to shatter glass, so it is an appropriate use for once. But
it still should be. But it'd have to be at a frequency that would damage her eardrums. So
true. So she can do it, but her ears are bleeding now.
Yeah.
but still hasn't found Luke, and bumped into Clyde and Ryan. She was like, "What? I told you not to come in." Just like, did you really expect us to not come in? Fair play. I did not expect you to obey my orders. You never do. And Spellman's all like, "Haha, you are scared of me, and I am feeding on your fear." And Clyde's all like, "Hold on a minute. I'm the class clown. I'm going to have a moment here and tell all the jokes, all the bad jokes right now." And because laughter is a better replacement of fear. And Spellman's like, well, this is not what I wanted to happen right now.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly thinking that would be the case somehow. So,
but unfortunately, as the laughter and hilarity is taking place of fear, he starts losing his little bit of his power. And unfortunately for him, this power is what's enabling him to resist the call of flying right back into the meteorite he came from. And he flies right back in the meteorite he came from. Whoops. And all the children of recent times that he's taken over the last few weeks, they're all hunky-dory now.
It's pretty brutal, though, because he straight up admits to murdering children. Like, straight up
just
murdering them. I was
yeah.
like, whoa, this is a kid show, guys. Thank you for actually being way more mature than Doctor Who.
Yeah, he's just straight up. I've been taking for children for thousands of years. Most of them are dead. Is that whoa? Yeah, Rani's a little bit sort of okay. That was an adventure and a half. So you ain't wrong, kiddo. So and Sarah gives her an ultimatum. So you can join in with what we do, and your life will kind of be a bit dangerous here and there, or you can go back across the road and just live out a peaceful life. And Rani's like, yeah, well, I can't forget this, so I'm going to stick around. It's like, cool. I'm glad you are, and that's the end of the story.
That is indeed the end of the story. What are your thoughts on this episode, or this two-parter rather?
It was good. I mean, after Sarah Jane last week wasn't good at all.
Yeah, it was awful. Really bad.
It's really nice to actually come back in and be like, yeah, we're good again. Thank you, Sarah Jane. Thank you.
I said,
I did get a lot of light from the story, which I'm 100% down with.
It was light, but like I said in chat, I don't know if it was this morning, is as itself is the Pied Piper.
Very much so.
Yeah, so this is again full circle. The Pied Piper imitating it after it imitated the Pied Piper. I agree. I think it's a really, really strong story. Some brilliant performances. The young girl that plays Rani is obviously now an adult, and she was recently in the show called The Bodyguard, and she was fantastic in it. Absolutely riveting. So it's cool to see her like start out young. I was kind of blown away. Guys, with that, we'll move on to part B.